was Steve?
Oh, it is Steve. My last name is Edison. Fran calls me Eddie. It's a nickname.
I have a better nickname for you.
The main dish. Right about there.
You live with your parents?
Is that a problem? Don't chicken out now.
Chicken out? He cheated.
Oh, get over it.
In season 1, we looked at 3 actors and 3 philosophies. Will Smith built a formula. Nicolas Cage built a bonfire. Denzel Washington built taste.
You can't do it. Somebody drop this fool for me.
Each one answered the same question differently. How do you build a career that lasts?
The firing pin is filed down, right?
Season 2 asks a different question, a harder one. What do you do when the career you built isn't the career you want? Because here's the thing about success. It's a trap. Once you're making $15 million a movie, once your face is the reason people buy tickets, once an entire genre belongs to you, walking away from that isn't brave, it's insane. Nobody does it. The money is too good. The comfort is too deep. The fear of becoming irrelevant is too loud. Matthew McConaughey did it anyway. And the way he did it is one of the coldest, most calculated career moves anyone in Hollywood has ever made. In the early 2000s, Matthew McConaughey was the king of romantic comedies. The Wedding Planner, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Failure to Launch, Fool's Gold, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past.
That is really like almost Wedding Crashers comedy.
If you needed a charming Texan with an easy grin and no shirt to fall in love with the female lead in 90 minutes, McConaughey was your guy. And the movies made money, consistently, reliably.
You know, one of the things I remember, and it doesn't have to do with the movie, but I remember, because I'm pretty bullish on my ideas on set.
He wasn't just in the rom-com lane, he owned it. And he was miserable. Not publicly miserable, not tabloid miserable, quietly, privately miserable, in the way that only someone who's succeeding at the wrong thing can be. He's described it as going to bed with an itchy feeling and waking up knowing something was off. The roles didn't challenge him, the characters didn't stay with him after filming wrapped. He was being paid enormous sums of money to do work that left him empty. But here's the trap. When you're the rom-com guy, that's all anyone offers you. Directors of serious dramas don't call, casting agents for prestige films don't think of you. You've been branded, and the brand is airtight. McConaughey wasn't being overlooked for dramatic roles because anyone doubted his talent. He was being overlooked because nobody could see past the brand. He was the shirtless guy on the beach, the guy who says, all right, all right, all right.
And there's the chick. All right, all right, all right.
That's amazing.
3 out of 4.
That's fantastic.
The guy you put on a poster next to Kate Hudson. What do you do when you're trapped inside a version of yourself that's making you rich, but making you smaller? Most actors in that position do one of 2 things. They either stay in the lane and collect the paychecks, which is rational, understandable, and what 99% of people would do. Or they try to quietly slip a dramatic role into their schedule between rom-coms, hoping someone notices. A toe in the water, a gentle pivot. McConaughey did neither of those things. He burned the bridge. He called his agents and told them no more romantic comedies. Not fewer, none. 0. He didn't want to read the scripts. He didn't want to hear the offers. He was done.
I'm not even gonna read the scene. Cut to, I'm on the set of Scorpion Spring. I'm about to shoot that scene.
And then the offers kept coming, because Hollywood doesn't hear you the first time. A $5 million offer came in. He said no. 8 million, no. 10 million, no. 12.5 million, no. Then $14.5 million for 2 months of work.
I get this romantic action comedy. It comes with an $8 million offer. I read it, I pass, I say no thank you. It comes back with a $10 million offer. I said no thank you. It comes back with a $12 million offer. I said no thank you. It comes back with a $14.5 million offer. I said, let me read that thing again.
He read the script, acknowledged it was decent, and said no. $14.5 million. Gone. Because he'd decided. He wrote about it later in his memoir. If I couldn't do what I wanted, I wasn't going to do what I didn't, no matter the price. His motto during this stretch, in his own words, was simple. Forget the bucks, I'm going for the experience. And then something terrifying happened. The rom-com offers eventually stopped, but nothing replaced them. Hollywood had heard him loud and clear. Matthew McConaughey doesn't want to do romantic comedies anymore. Great. So what does he want to do? And more importantly, why would we hire him for it? The phone didn't ring for almost 2 years. Think about that. 2 years of silence.
I think sent a little invisible message to Hollywood. Oh, McConaughey's not bluffing.
2 years of watching other actors take roles you want. 2 years of your agent having nothing to send you. 2 years of your family depending on money you've saved while you bet everything on a hunch that Hollywood will eventually see you differently. McConaughey has said he considered quitting acting entirely during this stretch. He thought about becoming a teacher.
I start to think about other vocations, school teacher.
He thought about music. He and his wife Camilla talked about it constantly. He said they cried over it, prayed over it. This wasn't a casual experiment. This was a man standing at the edge of his career with no guarantee that the other side existed. And then, about 2 years in, 3 calls came in quick succession. William Friedkin called with Killer Joe. Steven Soderbergh called with Magic Mike. Lee Daniels called with The Paperboy.
I don't expect any of my films or any of my TV shows or anything that I
know,
do.
I told you I thought The Butler should have won everything. You didn't even get nominated.
Thank you.
None of them were romantic comedies. All of them were dark, strange, and offered the kind of roles McConaughey had been starving for. He's described this moment with a phrase that's worth thinking about. I was remembered by being forgotten. I had unbranded. That idea, unbranding, is the key to understanding what McConaughey did. He didn't just switch genres, he erased himself. He created so much absence that when he reappeared, nobody associated him with the old thing anymore. He'd become a blank slate, a new idea. The Lincoln Lawyer came in 2011, a legal thriller. McConaughey playing a defense attorney working out of his car. It's a good film, not a great one, but it mattered enormously because it showed audiences a version of McConaughey they'd forgotten existed. The sharp, intense actor who'd starred in A Time to Kill 15 years earlier, before the rom-coms swallowed him whole.
I don't want the jury to see those pictures of the dead rapists. Can we keep them out of court?
Then Mud, a coming-of-age drama where he plays a fugitive hiding on an island in the Mississippi River. Critics loved it.
I killed that last man she was with, Tom.
Then Bernie, then The Paperboy, then Magic Mike, where he stole the entire film from Channing Tatum by playing a sleazy strip club owner with a kind of unhinged charisma that made people sit up and say, wait, McConaughey can do that? Each role was small, each role was strange, each role was nothing like the one before it, and each role was a brick in a wall he was building towards something nobody saw coming. Dallas Buyers Club arrived in 2013. McConaughey plays Ron Woodruff, an electrician and rodeo cowboy diagnosed with AIDS in 1985, who smuggles unapproved medications across the Mexican border to treat himself and others the pharmaceutical industry had abandoned. He lost nearly £50 for the role. He accepted under $200,000 to do it, a 98% pay cut from his rom-com peak. 200,000 versus 14.5 million. That's not a salary negotiation, that's a statement of intent. The performance is extraordinary. It's gaunt and angry and desperate and funny and human in ways that McConaughey had never been allowed to be on screen before. It won him the Academy Award for Best Actor.
Thank you to the Academy for this. All 6,000 members, thank you.
The Golden Globe, the SAG Award, everything. The kid from Uvalde, Texas, who'd said, all right, all right, all right, into a camera 20 years earlier.
All right.
Oh, Christ.
How you doing?
Was holding an Oscar. And then, as if winning the Oscar for the best dramatic performance of the year wasn't enough, he went and did something that might have been even more significant for his long-term career. He did television. In 2014, movie stars did not do television. There was still a hierarchy in Hollywood. Film was the top, television was where you went when film didn't want you anymore. A few actors had started to blur that line, but the stigma was real. If you were a movie star, taking a TV role was seen as a step down. McConaughey took the lead in True Detective Season 1. He plays Rust Cole, a haunted, philosophizing detective investigating a serial murder case across 17 years in rural Louisiana. The performance is mesmerizing. Cole's monologues about time and consciousness became cultural phenomena. People were quoting him in bars, posting clips on social media, debating his philosophy in comment sections. It was the most watched debut season of an HBO drama in years. McConaughey was nominated for an Emmy, and the role did something that Dallas Buyers Club alone couldn't have done. It gave audiences sustained time with the new McConaughey. A film is 2 hours. True Detective was 8. 8 hours of proof that this transformation was real, that it wasn't a one-off, that the rom-com guy was genuinely, permanently gone. So what does McConaughey's pivot actually teach us? And how does it connect to everything we explored in season 1? Will Smith's career was about building a brand so powerful that it could survive anything, until it couldn't. Nicolas Cage's career was about refusing to have a brand at all and paying the price for that freedom. Denzel Washington's career was about making the right choices so consistently that he never needed a comeback because he never fell. McConaughey's career is about something none of them did. It's about looking at a successful brand and choosing to kill it. Not because it was failing, it was thriving. Not because someone forced him, nobody was pushing him out of rom-coms, but because the success was hollow, and he had the terrifying clarity to recognize it, and the even more terrifying courage to act on it. The McConaissance, and he's admitted he invented that word himself, planted it with a journalist on a red carpet and watched it spread, isn't really a comeback story, it's a demolition story. He tore down a profitable building because he knew it was built on the wrong foundation. And then he stood in the rubble for 2 years, with no blueprint, no offers, and no guarantee that anything better would come. That's the part most people skip when they tell this story. They jump from rom-coms to Oscar. But the gap in between, the silence, the doubt, the $14.5 million no.
It comes back with a $14.5 million offer. I said, let me read that thing.
The consideration of quitting acting altogether, that's where the actual story lives. Because anyone can reinvent themselves if they know the reinvention will work. McConaughey did it with no evidence that it would. Every career hits a moment where what got you here won't get you where you want to go. Most people see that moment and flinch. They take the money, they stay in the lane, they tell themselves the ceiling is the sky and learn to live with it. McConaughey looked at the ceiling and said, "I'd rather have nothing than this." And it turns out, on the other side of nothing, there was everything. That's it for this one. Next time on Stunt Casting, we're looking at an actor who faced the same trap. Global fame built on a franchise he hated, and chose an even stranger escape route. Robert Pattinson blew it all up.